That was not me. That was somebody's muffler, just so you know. All right, Fleetwood Mac on the Q Morning Show at 16 minutes after 6 o'clock here on a bit of a brisk morning for our we just figured it out, 24th annual Help the Homeless show here at the Mayfair Shopping Center. So we've been underway here almost as long as the Q has been on the air. And again, it's just a pleasure to be here and meet all the people that have already come in and made a donation to help the people in our community who are struggling via the St. Vincent de Paul Society, the Our Place Society, and Woodwynn Farms. We're going to talk to one of the reps from Woodwynn Farms here in just a couple of seconds. The weather, by the way, brought to you by Action Transmission. Looks like it's going to be eventually a little brighter, so about a 6-degree high at some point today. Holding here at 4 right now. I just, before we got to that here, I got an email from Jill Fitz Hirschbold, who I don't know if she writes poetry regularly, but she was moved enough from an incident downtown where she had run into one of the homeless people downtown that had their hat out, and went home and wrote a poem, which I think was quite moving here. I'm not going to read it all, but this is what her poem, Empty Hat, here's sort of the tail end of it. She says, I turn away, get in my car, and leave to go back home, imagining life on the street, nowhere but to roam. Will he know when he's gone that his life was really hard? Does anyone live a life that doesn't leave a scar? Every person has an empty hat held out on different days. Can we recognize ourselves in there and help along the way? So,
well, isn't that great?
It really is great.
It sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really
well
does.
Done.
You know, what you feel and what you, how you react after you come across somebody in that situation.
Well,
right there.
we have a guest here who has reacted. Yeah. Richard LeBlanc from Woodwynn Farms. Many years of helping those who have some issues here in the Greater Victoria area, and Woodwynn Farms out there in Central Saanich. Richard, welcome. Good to see you bright and early this morning. You're with us every year, and we do this, and we're very pleased to be helping you out with your operation out there. And it's good to see you this morning. How are things going? It has not been easy at Woodwynn Farms, has it?
It continues to be a challenge, but we're phenomenally inspired by our team at Woodwynn. Our volunteers have been amazing, and the community support, such as you guys this morning. You guys are terrific, and it all adds up to feeling like we're really making a difference.
Well, we have another guest here, and I'm glad. It was Tim, right? Good morning, Tim. Are you a participant out there at Woodwynn Farms then?
Yes, I am.
So tell us a little bit about your story and how you ended up with Richard out there at Woodwynn Farms, your journey through life.
Well, I was homeless in my van in Brentwood for 2 years, and I got to know the police rather well. And they recommended me to Richard, and I went and visited him, and it was probably the best thing I probably ever could have done.
Well, how has it turned your life around? And I can tell just by talking to you right now it has. What's the biggest thing it has done for you?
A little bit more hope. Probably in better shape now than I've ever been in my life, and never a dull moment.
What do you do out there? Tell us about your days out there.
Well, I'm a carpenter, and I get to do that every once in a while, but I'm on a farm. You got to fix everything. It's just part of farm life. There's something has to be done every day. And I really keep in a lot of really good shape, but doing hay, pardon me.
All right, hey. Well, that'll keep you in shape. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Now, you said that you were in your van out there. How did you end up in that situation? Because everybody has a story, right?
I fell off a 5-foot ladder and broke my foot. And then no money coming in, I was evicted from my trailer.
You know, Ed and I were talking about this on air and off air this week, and I do, as Richard knows, a lot of presentations with the United Way of Greater Victoria every fall. And I always tell the story of people like you who in an instant life changes and it happens very quickly, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a bad situation, and you're an example of that. We just never know in life, do we?
It can happen at any time to anybody. All it took was 5 seconds, and I was in an ambulance.
And your life changed. Richard, thank you so much. Tim, it's great to see you, and good luck to you out there at Woodwynn Farms. Richard, thank you for coming by here today. And this is a great example of what you can do out there. And I hope that you are able to continue all your great work out there, because there are some obstacles still, aren't there?
There continues to be, but we sort of appreciate the chance to make a difference in people's lives, and thank you guys for all your help this morning.
Well, thank you to Richard LeBlanc from Woodwynn Farms. Yeah. Tim, good to meet you. Good luck to you. Congratulations to all the things you've done. Richard, good to see you guys. Isn't that an inspiring story?
You thought I was taller? You know what? I used to be 6'1". I used to tower over a cliff, but I went to Height Watchers, and now I'm much shorter. And thanks, Tim. Well, it was a great story. That is one of the. If you are writing a check today, you can write it specifically to any of these three agencies. Woodwynn Farms. We just talked to these people, so you can make it out directed to them, or St. Vincent de Paul, or our place. So
he said he fell off a ladder.
Well, and we always talk about he lost, and it goes a little deeper than that because he started to lose income.
Yes.
And the next thing you know, it didn't take long. I mean, if you're fairly close to the bone as it is, a couple of missed paychecks, and the next thing you know, you're up against it, and that's what happened to Tim, and now he's on the rebound thanks to Woodwynn.